Hello students. Today let's move on to the practical part of second chapter, that is debt equity ratio. Debt equity ratio means it says in a total capital how much should be equity and how much should be the debt. Because debt and equity has its own features. So you have already studied what are the features and merits, demerits of debt and equity. So debt, for that there is compulsory payment of interest. If company fails to pay the interest, then lender, the person who has provided a fund, he can take a legal action. That means by filing a case, he can take action against the company. Then equity shareholders, their rate of dividend or their return, it is depends on the profit of the company. If the profit is very high, then the rate of return or that rate of dividend that equity shareholders are getting, it definitely can be high. And they have voting rights. They are the owners of the company. So many features debt and equity has, and it is different from one another. In order to maximize the profit by minimizing risk, mixture of debt and equity is necessary for the capital structure. Debt and equity, it has its own demerits also. So if you have only equity in a capital structure, that is 100% of the capital, it is only equity. So in that case, when you earn profit, that entire profit should be distributed among equity shareholders after paying tax to the government. And if there is only debt in a capital structure, ಖಾಲಿ ಡೆಟ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದೆ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, then what happens? You have newly started your company and the profit is very low, and which is more than profit is less than the return which you need to pay to the lenders. So it affects the solvency of the company. So in order to avoid this, a company should have a mixture of both, that is debt and equity, so that they can maximize the profit by minimizing the risk. Having debt in capital structure increases EPS to equity shareholders. So by having debt component in a capital structure, it increases return to the equity shareholder, earning per share. So return they are getting from individual share increases if company has debt in its capital structure. For example, company earns a profit of 10 lakh in this year, and let's see the example. If company has 5,000 equity and 5,000 debentures. And one more example, that is if company has only equity in its capital structure, so total 10,000 is equity only. So company earns a profit of 1 lakh. After paying interest to the debenture holders, it has a profit of 1 lakh. Now this profit we have to share among equity shareholders. Remaining profit ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು equity shareholders ಗೆ share ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. So now what is the EPS that individual shareholder getting? That is here 20 rupees. So in the second example, profit is same 1 lakh and number of equity shareholders, it is 10,000. So what is the EPS individual shareholder getting here? It is 10. So that is how having debt in a capital structure increases EPS to the equity shareholders. If there is only equity in a capital structure, then there will be less EPS to the shareholders because number of shareholders is more, no? So that's why EPS is less. Here lenders also prefers company which has equity in its capital structure. This is because equity shareholders are the owners of the company, and again they are the bearer of the losses. So they are going to bear the losses of the company. That's why lenders, they prefer a company which has equity in its capital structure. So this is a formula to calculate debt equity ratio. So it can be this debt equity mix can be computed either as a single figure or as a ratio. If it is a single figure, then formula is long-term debt divided by net worth. If it is a ratio, then formula is long-term debt is to net worth. Here, long-term debt includes debentures, bonds, and long-term bonds or long-term loans. Secured loans, unsecured loans, all this comes under long-term debt. And net worth includes equity shares, preference shares, reserves and surplus, profit and loss, credit balance. That means a profit and loss account which is shown on the liability side, we need to add to the shareholders fund. And if there is any fictitious asset under the head miscellaneous expenditure like profit and loss account, debit balance, profit and loss account appears on the asset side of the balance sheet, preliminary expenses or discount on issue of shares, all these called fictitious assets which will come under miscellaneous expenditure head. So all these should be deducted from the shareholders fund. Next, move on to the problems. Here's the first problem. Brahmari Limited has an equity share capital of rupees 8 lakh, preference share capital of 4 lakh, reserves and surplus of rupees 6 lakh, and debentures to the extent of 30 lakh, and long-term loan from IFCI Limited at 15 lakh. It has 3 lakh miscellaneous expenditure on the asset side. Calculate the debt equity ratio. So first we have to see which will come under the head net worth and long-term debt. So here equity share capital, preference share capital and reserves and surplus, these are shareholders fund, and debentures and long-term loans will come under long-term debt. So miscellaneous expenditure we have to deduct from shareholders fund under net worth. So let's go for this problem. So first let's calculate debt, that is the total long-term debt. So here long-term debt includes here debentures and long-term loan. So here debentures, what is the amount of debenture? 30 lakh. And add then long-term loan from IFCI Limited. What is the loan from IFCI Limited? It is 15 lakh. So total debt, that is long-term debt, is 45 lakh. Next, let us see the calculation of net worth. Net worth includes what? It includes equity share capital, preference share capital, reserves and surplus. So first you write equity share capital, preference share capital and reserves and surplus. Therefore, total shareholders fund is 18 lakh. From that, if there is any fictitious asset, that should be deducted. So in this problem we have a miscellaneous expenditure. So it is a fictitious asset. So we have to deduct from the shareholders fund. So that is 3 lakh. Miscellaneous expenditure is 3 lakh. So we are deducting it and we'll get total net worth is 15 lakh. So what is here? They have asked to calculate ratio, debt equity ratio. What is the formula? Long-term debt is to net worth. So here long-term debt is 45 lakh and net worth is 15 lakh. So here if you cancel zeros, so you'll get 15 and 45. So if you simplify this, 15 ones are 15, 15 threes are 45. So the ratio is 3:1. Debt equity ratio is 3:1. Here is the second question. NP Limited balance sheet as on 31st March 2015 is as follows. It has equity share capital, that is 5 lakh shares of 10 is 50 lakhs given in lakhs. 12% preference share capital, 10,000 shares of 100 each, 10 share premium. So this is also relating to shareholder fund. So 20, general reserve 10. So equity share capital, preference share capital, share premium, general reserve. So these 4 are shareholders funds. So then non-convertible debenture comes for a long-term debt. Current liabilities will not come for a long-term debt. So long-term debt is here only debentures. So calculation of debt equity ratio under long-term debt, there is only one component, that is non-convertible debenture. So it is 45 lakh. Okay, done with that. Then calculation of net worth. So here net worth includes what? Equity share capital 50, preference share capital 10, share premium, it is also shareholder fund 20, general reserve 10. So total 90 is a total net worth. So here there is no fictitious assets to deduct. So this is only the net worth. So calculation of debt equity ratio, long term debt is to net worth. So long term debt is 45 and net, it is a total of shareholders fund, it is 90. So 1:2, 45 ones are 45, 2s are. So debt equity ratio is 1:2. Here is the third problem. Calculate debt equity ratio from the following. A balance sheet given, equity shares, preference shares, general reserve, profit and loss account, credit balance. So all these are shareholders fund, comes under net worth. 15% debentures, mortgage debentures. So this is for long-term debt. Loans. So loan is what? It is a long-term debt. Current liabilities and provisions. So this is not a long-term debt. So only mortgage and loans from IDBI, it is comes for long-term debt calculation. Coming on the asset side, fixed assets, loans and add-ons. So this is not required. Only we need a capital. Okay, so let's go for calculating a debt equity ratio. So first we have to calculate long-term debt. So as I said, there is only two items for a long-term debt, that is mortgage debentures and loans from IDBI. Take a total of that two. 6,50,000 is a debenture and loans is 3,50,000. So total long-term debt is 10 lakh. And net worth, there is 4 shareholders fund, equity share capital 3 lakh, preference share capital 1 lakh, general reserve 50,000 and profit and loss account credit balance. If there is a credit balance, andre liability side ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವ profit and loss account ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು shareholders fund ಗೆ add ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ profit and loss account asset side ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರೆ, it is a fictitious asset, we have to deduct from the shareholder fund. Remember this, credit balance add, debit balance deduct of profit and loss account. So here total net worth is 5 lakh. So you need to add all the shareholders fund and deduct fictitious assets. So debt equity ratio is equals to long term debt is to net worth. So long term debt is here 10 lakh, total of 2, it is 10 lakh and net worth is 5 lakh. So if you cancel 5 zeros, you will get 5 and 10. So 5 ones are 5, 2s are 10. Thank you. Next, see the remaining problems in the next video. Thank you.